Awesome. Hello all, my name is Luis Portillo. I'm the Assistant Director of Admissions with the University of Delaware. I am here to help you facilitate this wonderful webinar. Welcome to the Virtual College Exploration for all Virginia students, sponsored by the Virginia Association of Collegiate Registrars and Admissions Counselors and StriveScan. Thank you for joining us. A few housekeeping announcements before we get started. You can use the Q&A button on your screen to type your questions to our presenters at any time. Your camera and microphone are off, so the panelists cannot see or hear you. This is just one of many different sessions happening, so be sure to check out the full schedule at strivescan.com/Virginia. This presentation is being recorded and will be available within about a week at the same website, strivescan.com/Virginia. I'd like now to turn it over to our presenters, and they will go ahead and start sharing their screen.
Perfect. Thank you so much. And I want to say a good evening and welcome to all of you. We are very excited to welcome you to our presentation today, and welcome to the advantages of studying at the premier independent universities in Florida. We are excited to share some information with you today about our 4 schools that make up the premier independent universities of Florida. And now I'm going to turn it over so our panelists can each introduce themselves briefly, and then we're going to talk a little bit about studying in Florida, and then we're going to dive into each university separately. And then we're going to start in alphabetical order.
Cool. I can start. I am Leanne Williams from Florida Southern College. I work with Virginia as well as the other mid-Atlantic states. I'm an undergraduate admissions counselor, and a fun fact about Florida Southern, one of the scenes from Adam Sandler's The Waterboy was filmed in a classroom on our campus.
Hi, my name's Keith Yudon. I'm an admissions counselor here at Florida Tech. I also cover the Mid-Atlantic region. And then I've been a admissions counselor for 10 years. So if you have any questions, feel free to ask.
Hi, my name is Philippa Roberts. I am an admissions counselor at Eckerd College, covering students from the Mid-Atlantic. And a fun fact about Eckerd College is that we are the pet-friendliest college in America.
And it's me once again. My name is Omar Alnahas. I'm the Senior Assistant Director of Admission. And just like my colleagues, I do oversee the DMV territory, Mid-Atlantic, Ohio, and Pennsylvania as well. And another fun fact about Lynn, once again, we've been ranked the #1 most diverse university in the south of the United States. And now I'm going to turn it over to Leanne to start us off.
Awesome. So to get started, why should you study at an independent university in Florida? There's a lot of great reasons. First and foremost, we offer you a quality education. Our independent schools are among the nation's top performers. Our schools range in size, location, and academic programs, but each campus has their own unique feel. Students at our schools benefit from having a high level of engagement with their professors. Our schools have very few to no graduate students teaching classes. This ensures that you're being taught by the experts in your field of study, and because of our small class sizes, your professors really get to know you as a student and end up becoming a mentor or a champion later in your careers and outside the classroom. Having these kinds of relationships with professors can open the doors to tons of opportunities to participate in or conduct research on campus. Some students even end up receiving stipends to continue their research, and with the help of their professors, students from all of our schools have had their work published in peer-reviewed articles or journals. This is one of the biggest academic accomplishments an undergraduate student can achieve. We take pride in the fact that our schools also provide an education with a global focus. In fact, we encourage our students to embrace diversity both on and off campus through international connections and extensive travel opportunities, which each of us are going to talk about a little bit later. And now I am going to pass the mic off to Philippa.
Thank you, and I'm going to discuss more on the academic advantages of the premier independent universities in Florida. Studying at our schools also means you have easy access to Florida's variety of rich and diverse industries for professional experience. Florida is ranked 5th in the nation for high-tech employment and is also home to 15 of the Fortune 500 companies. Our students are able to pursue internships and career opportunities in fields like aerospace and aviation, financial, and health professional services. From biological science research to education to health professions like physical therapy to computer science, there's something for everyone at our schools. Our high quality academics and internship opportunities work together to prepare you for what comes after graduation, whether that's landing your dream job or getting accepted to a graduate or professional program. Now I will pass it off to Amar.
Thank you so much. Whenever you think about college and university, you think about academics, but you're also thinking about what you're going to do once you graduate. What is the outcome? We are proud that a combined 92% of our students have gainfully employed or are serving in the military or are continuing their education at the graduate professional or even doctoral level within 1 year of graduation. As independent schools in the state of Florida, we are dedicated to making our education affordable for our students. While affordability may not always be the first thing that comes to mind when you hear the words independent school, all of our schools offer scholarships and financial aid opportunities that help make affordability a reality for you and your family. Additionally, when you think about it even more, the vast majority of our graduates earn their bachelor's degree in 4 years or less, which allows you to spend less on your education. In fact, recent studies and data have shown that students nationwide are graduating from college in 5 to 6 years on average. This can end up costing you quite a bit. And what I mean by a bit, it can go up to about 40% or more on your education. And that's not the financial burden we want to put on our students. So much that we awarded over $200 million in scholarships and grants combined last year. Now I'm going to turn it over to Keith so he can tell you a little bit more.
It also doesn't hurt that Florida has a perfect climate to learn, live, and play in too. From Disney and Universal to the top nation's beaches, there's a ton to explore here in Florida. Our mild climate is also perfect year-round for championship-winning athletics. All of our schools compete in NCAA Division II Sunshine State Conference, which is also considered among the most competitive Division II conferences in America. And as an added bonus, summer year-round means no snow. So why should you study at independent universities in Florida? As we shared, there's a lot of reasons. Now let's hear about studying in each one of the universities.
Hi, so as I said earlier, I'm Philippa Roberts, an admissions counselor at Eckerd, and I'll speak briefly on some of the unique aspects that Eckerd College offers. So we are a private liberal arts college located in St. Petersburg, Florida. This is our campus, 180 acres, surrounded by water on 3 sides. Now I'll cover some of the unique aspects of our campus. One of those is our geographic reach. So on average, students tend to travel around 200 miles to go to their college nationwide. For us, our students travel over 1,000 miles on average. So it's certainly very different to what you're typically seeing, and we're about 80% represented out of state. So our students really bring a different, diverse background on campus, and they love to share that with one another. Another unique aspect is our academic calendar. So we're on a 4-1-4 calendar, which means you take 4 classes in the fall, you have 4 classes in the spring, and then there's 1 short-term requirement. Our sophomores through seniors fulfill that with our winter term, which is 3 weeks in January. As a freshman, that looks a little different. So you're going to take our autumn term. Our autumn term is where you will arrive to campus 3 weeks before upperclassmen do, and you're taking the course. You're in class Monday through Friday, 9 to 12, and then in the afternoon, you're doing orientation type activities, but you're doing it a little bit more deep than you typically will find at your 2-day orientation, making sure that you really understand all the resources available to you on campus. You'll meet with different departments and getting that time to really get to know one another. The fact that our students come from so far away, we want to give them this time to get acclimated to the new environment. In addition, we're not typically bringing in multiple kids from one school, so you tend to be the only person on campus. You don't know anyone else, so it gives you that time to really get to know each other, so that when you start in the fall, you know what it's like to be a college student on our campus. You'll also get your first mentor during that time, who's really there to help shape your 4 years of the college. After your first year and you declare a major, you'll get a mentor within that major. We offer 44 different majors on our campus. This is the list of them all. Anything with the asterisk next to it is just our minors. Our top programs are our marine science. We're actually one of the top programs in the country for that. Animal studies, environmental studies, creative writing, and our international relations program. So you can see from a wide variety of different academic backgrounds, being a liberal arts, our students definitely make use of that. Some unique aspects for our student life is two things you can see in this photo. One, the beaches. Due to our location, we do have our own beaches on campus, which Wi-Fi does spread out there, so students are able to do their homework on the beaches, as well as have bonfires and campfires that the RA is able to help set that up for you. Another unique aspect, as I mentioned earlier, is we are the pet-friendliest college in America. So our students are able to bring their pets to campus as long as they are 40 pounds or under and not classified as an exotic animal. So yes, we have dogs on campus. One of my favorite traditions with the pet life is actually that they have their own graduation. So a couple of days before our human graduation, the pets of our graduating seniors get their own mini ceremony, they get their own mini certificates, and some of them are even wearing caps and gowns. So I personally love that. Another unique aspect is our waterfront, which has three components to it. One, academic, so students within our marine science and our environmental studies classes will take out the boats, they go out into the bay, collect samples, bring it back to the labs and do research on them. The second component is the recreational, so students are able to rent out kayaks, paddleboards, fishing gear, all for free. They're able to go out and water ski, wakeboarding, sailboats, a whole wide variety of water sport activities, all for free as a student and for parents and friends as well. And the third component to that is the service component. So we have an organization called Eckerd College Search and Rescue. We are the only collegiate organization in the country that works with the Coast Guard. So our students within that organization are fully trained to respond to emergency distress calls out at sea. This, due to our location, quite often they're actually the first on scene and they are prepared to respond right away. They don't need to wait for the Coast Guard. They're not shadowing them. They are fully trained professionals within that. Quite an honor. Just last year, we received the second highest honor that the Coast Guard issues out. As I said, we are the only college in the country that offers this opportunity. So I'll go over some of our application stuff. For our application, you can apply either through the Common App or through our Eckerd application. They're absolutely the same, whatever is easiest for you. Then we just need your official transcripts. Our average GPA is a 3.45 unweighted. We do unweighted GPAs, but we'll add weight if you've taken AP or IB coursework. Then for the next 2 years, we have piloted a test optional program in light of COVID-19. So it's completely up to you if you'd like to submit test scores or not. It will not impact anything with your application or merit-based aid if you choose to go test optional. Our average SAT is around 1200 and our average ACT is a 26. Then we need one letter of recommendation from an academic source. So either a counselor or a teacher, and then the personal essay. We have two timelines: early action, which is if you apply by November 15th, you're guaranteed a decision mailed by December 15th, and you can get the application fee waived. After that, we operate enrolling admission, whereas 3 to 5 weeks of the application being complete. All students who apply are automatically considered for a merit-based aid. They roll from $12,000 to $25,000, and those are based off all of academic materials that we have. So if you choose to not submit test scores, we will still consider you for those. Then you can apply to our Artistic Achievement Award, which is $1,000 all 4 years. If you have an interest in theater, music, creative writing, visual arts, film, you can apply for that. Then there's also Diversity Leadership Scholarship. That's up to $6,000 if you're interested in taking leadership roles for diversity and inclusion initiatives on campus. And a first-year research associateship, $1,000 for that first year to do research with faculty. And if you'd like to learn more about Eckerd College, I highly recommend reading the Colleges That Changed Lives book. This was a book that was written by Lauren Pope, who traveled the country visiting different schools and selected 40 schools that he believed truly changes the lives of their students. We highly recommend checking that out to learn more about Eckerd College. Thank you. And please reach out if you have any questions.
Cool, thanks so much, Philippa. So I am gonna pop in and talk a little bit about Florida Southern College. So to get started with some basic information, Florida Southern College is located in the city of Lakeland, which is almost exactly between Tampa and Orlando. We've got about 3,500 total students, so not too big, not too small, pretty comfortable. Of these 3,500 students, about 60% are coming from the state of Florida and 40% are from out of state, representing nearly all 50 states as well as 50 international countries. Here at Florida Southern, we have 70 different programs of study as well as 16 pre-professional tracks. Those are for students who are planning to continue their education past the bachelor's level. Our most popular majors include biology and marine biology, nursing, anything in the business school, music, theater, and exercise science. We are a liberal arts college at our core, so no matter what your major is, you are going to get a well-rounded degree. We do place a heavy emphasis on engaged and experiential learning, so you are going to be an active participant in your classroom regardless of what your major is. We really believe in the power of learning by doing and immersing our students in their field as soon as possible. So for example, our nursing department is direct entry, so that means students are starting nursing classes freshman year and they're in clinical rotations by sophomore year. Some other examples on this slide, we've got a photo of our CBS affiliate studio, which is right here on campus and gives our communication students the opportunity to get real-life broadcasting experience, and our biology students conduct research with antibiotic-producing microorganisms through a partnership with the Tiny Earth Network. So hands-on learning is going to look a little different for each major, but with tons of opportunities for research and internships, and the like, all of our students are guaranteed a high-impact engaged learning experience. Part of why we're able to offer this engaged learning experience is due to our small class size. The average class size is about 18 students, and the student to faculty ratio is 14:1. All the classes are taught by the professors themselves. We never have graduate assistants leading courses, and this just ensures that you're working very closely with the experts. Part of our engaged learning experience includes what we call our 3 guarantees. They are study abroad, professional internship, and graduating on time. So the first guarantee is a guaranteed study abroad experience. We guarantee this through a program called the Junior Journey, which is a 7 to 10-day trip that takes place over school breaks in either junior or senior year. You go with a professor, so there is an academic component to the trip, and you're getting course credit for that trip. The best part of these trips, they're at little to no additional cost to the students, and we offer both domestic and international trip options. You're also allowed to go on whichever trip is most interesting to you. You don't necessarily have to go on the one that's affiliated with your major. We also guarantee internships to all of our students. 95% of employers are looking for new hires with experience, so an internship allows you to be a competitive candidate once you enter that job market. Some students do internships locally during the school year, or if they have an opportunity closer to home over the summer, we can help them work with that too. And then the last guarantee is graduating on time. We're able to offer this guarantee because, in addition to everything else about our program, students are paired with an academic advisor their very first year they're on campus. They meet with their advisor several times a year to make sure they're staying on track for graduation. Additionally, we're also very advanced credit friendly, so you might even be coming in with some courses under your belt from APs, dual enrollment courses, etc. So why does all of this matter? Well, it translates to post-graduation success. About 97% of our about a third of our students go on to a graduate program. The remaining 2/3 enter the workforce, but 97% of our students are saying they've achieved their post-graduation goals within that first year of leaving FSC. While academics are certainly, the most important part of your college experience, we also wanted to touch a little bit on student life because we do pride ourselves on being a campus community. Students are required to live on campus all 4 years, but that also means that you're guaranteed to have housing on campus all 4 years as well. We have 16 different style housing options that include everything from traditional dorms to college-owned apartments. So you're going to get a nice variety of living experiences on campus. In terms of athletics, we have 20 Division II NCAA sports here on campus, 30 national championships under our belt, so there's a lot of school spirit surrounding our athletics. Varsity recruiting is competitive and it's handled by the coaches directly, so students who are interested in athletics, we encourage you to fill out the prospective athlete questionnaire on our website. We also have tons of opportunities to be involved at the club or the intramural level. Speaking of involvement, we have over 100 different clubs and organizations here on campus, so there are tons of ways to be involved. Everything from Greek life to student government, faith life, and multiple special interest groups. So now that we've talked about Florida Southern College, some details about how to officially apply. First and foremost, it is free to apply, no matter how you do so, either on our application, the Common Application, or the Coalition app. We do require, in addition to your application, a high school transcript, a letter of recommendation, and a personal statement. This year, we've adopted a test optional policy, so you can either submit ACT or SAT scores, or if you are not interested or have been unable to test, you are not required to submit test scores. Something else I wanted to highlight, you can submit these materials one at a time as they become available. You don't need to have everything ready all at once and send them in all together. Once we receive all of your documents, we are on rolling admission, so we'll get you a decision within 2 to 4 weeks of us receiving all of your materials. And then to close out, we know that cost is a big factor in your final decision. So a little bit about financial aid. Every application is automatically considered for an academic-based scholarship. We also encourage students to file FAFSA, at least for the first year, because we do also offer some need-based aid opportunities. Some departments on campus also offer specific scholarships based on audition, portfolio review, athletic recruitment, interviews, etc. And then finally, we are a scholarship stacking school. So that means we accept any external grants or scholarships that you receive. It's going to stack on top of your Florida Southern College award. So thank you all for your attention. I am now going to pass it along to Keith from Florida Tech.
Welcome. Thanks for everyone joining us tonight. Florida Tech, we were founded back in 1958 by a gentleman, Jerome P. Cooper. He was actually an MIT physicist, and he was working what back then was the missile test program. Today we call it the Kennedy Space Center. He started for his employees to go back and continue education for their master's and their PhD program. Roughly, we have about 3,500 undergraduate students on campus. Good. Next slide. We're actually a direct admit school, so you actually select your major on day one and you start in that major your first semester on campus. Our ratio professor to student is 1 to 15. I'm an alumni in the smallest class I've had here was about 8 to 11 students in a class. Another great thing about Florida Tech is that the professors are required to have office hours. So if you need extra help, you're definitely go to our office, seek help. The only time you'll see a TA or a graduate student assistant will be in like chemistry lab, physics lab, stuff like that. Go on, next slide. I encourage all the students take advantage of our internship and co-op opportunities. Co-ops and internships not only provide additional hands-on experience, but also networking opportunities. It's a great way to check out a company that you might be interested in pursue a future in for employment opportunity. Don't worry if you don't participate in a co-op or internship, because there's many projects and opportunities to enhance your skills over time here at the university. Next slide. Because we are so research focused, we do not open the opportunities to only upperclassmen and graduate students. You could start as a freshman if you're interested in participating in our project here on campus. Students pursuing engineering majors have a senior design, which is our capstone project here at the university. We hold an exhibition in April to display their work, and it's fantastic. It's currently funded by Northrop Grumman. For example, as you look in the screen, there's actually an underwater autonomous robot, which the students designed and built and went out and tested. So it's pretty cool. In addition to our Division II, we have 18 Division II sports. We do have pools, gyms, intramural sports, club sports. We have music programs on campus. Many other activities. If there's not that one club, organization, or activities on campus, best thing to do is you can start your own. It does take 10 students plus faculty or staff advisor on campus. If you're interested in any Division II sports, best thing to do is you can go into our athletic website. It's FloridaTechSports.com. You can fill out that athletic questionnaire. It goes right to the sports coach. Next. Yep, there you go. We're a rolling admissions here at the university. You can start applying the day after you're done with your junior, because you're a senior at that point. As you could see, the top 3 documents are what we need to get from you. So our application, either ours or the Common App, no preference. Your high school transcript with your senior class schedule, and also test scores. We are not test optional currently. If there's any international students, we just need to have English proficiency from you. So whether it's Duolingo or the TOEFL test. This is our average accepted student profile. With that said, we review you on a holistic approach. Basically, what we're looking for is the potential for student success. Ideally, we're looking for about a 3.0 or higher in the GPA, about 1100 or higher, and then on the ACT, about a 24 or higher. And then the math and science courses we're looking for, the sciences would be biology, chemistry, and physics. And on the math side, bare minimum up to pre-calc, trig, and math analysis. They're all kind of the same type of class. So it would go geometry, algebra 2, and then, like I said, pre-calc, math analysis, trig. If you take calculus, it's a huge plus, but not required. If you take any AP classes, those all will get evaluated for college credit as well. So this is just a short list of where some of our students have gone off to after graduation. We do have a 95% placement rate for employment, and also those going to get their master's degree as well. Some of these companies are local to us. L3 Harris Corporation, they are located here in Melbourne. Northrop Grumman does have a large site here. And then also we are in the Space Coast, so we do have SpaceX, Blue Origin, Lockheed Martin is up at the Kennedy Space Center as well. When it comes to financial aid, I do recommend every student to fill out the free application for federal student aid. That allows our financial aid and any other school out there to make you and your family a complete and full financial aid package. We do offer merit-based scholarships here at the university. Merit-based scholarships are currently up to half off tuition, and once again, they're based off of GPA and test scores. And then on the next slide, we'll just give you a brief snapshot of what can be included in your financial aid package. So there's scholarships and grants, which are free money. If you're a Florida resident just tuning into this, of course, there's you could definitely use the Florida money here. We do accept Yellow Ribbon, in post 9/11 GI Bill and GI Bill, and any self-help. So any prepaid program, you could definitely use that here as well. So I'll go ahead and turn it over to Omar from Lynn.
Thank you, sir. Definitely appreciate that. Again, my name is Omar, and I am with the Office of Admission here at Lynn University. Now that you've heard from all the other schools, we're at the southernmost tip of the state of Florida. We're only an hour north of Miami. Lynn is a small school, about 3,000 students, give or take, depending on the year. When it comes to our location, the beauty of it is you can always come via Miami, Fort Lauderdale, or West Palm Beach. So we're uniquely situated in which you can reach us in any way that you want to come, or even by train. Lynn itself is located about 2.5 miles away from the beach. So our students love after class or between classes to go to the beach, whether it's for surfing or for scuba or even for beach volleyball. The area of Southern Florida, a lot of people have the misconception of it's either for grandparents or you're coming here for spring break. But it's actually one of the fastest growing districts in the United States. Just keep in mind, within an hour drive of Lynn University, there's roughly about 40 Fortune 500 companies that have a headquarters. Some of those notable are Publix, HP, American Express, and most of the cruise lines. So it's definitely a great place that once you graduate, you'll be able to join the workforce and still maintain that beauty of living in unique weather that you can't find almost anywhere in the world. Now with Lynn, we are ranked the #1 most international university in the south of the United States, quite a few number of times. As you'll see in the next slide, our student body is quite diverse. We have students from almost 100 different nations and from almost all 50 states and territories in the United States. Our classrooms are small, about 18:1, and currently with COVID, the classes are even smaller, roughly 11 to 12 in a classroom. But when we look at the diversity and break it down even more, we're roughly about 30% Floridian, another 20% international, and 50% from out of state. We have students from all over, from Virginia, from the DMV area in general, the Northeast, the West, the South. So you find students from all tracks of life. If you're gonna be looking more about diversity, well, you're thinking, what can diversity contribute to my education? In times like these, when you can't study abroad, having these students from all around the world, you get to learn language, you get to learn culture, you get to learn customs. But then when the time comes that you can actually study abroad, we have programs in all 6 major continents, which is huge, that the fact that you can go ahead and study abroad starting your 2nd semester at Lynn. You'll see also in the next slide that Lynn is pretty much an iPad-powered school. That means all students get an iPad Pro, a keyboard, and a pencil. This has many, many benefits, but when you look at it, it saves you money. And that's roughly about 67 grand in your 4 years. It saves your shoulders. You no longer have to carry a book bag that is 60, 70 pounds. You're able to have everything on your iPad. You can highlight, you can take notes, watch Netflix when you're done, but also when you study abroad, you can take it with you because everything is gonna transition onto your iPad, so you can still keep it as your medium of learning. Talking about the iPad, it transitions very well into the majors. As you can see, we have tons of majors. We have 6 different colleges to be more specific: aeronautics, arts and sciences, business, art and design, education, and our Conservatory of Music. So we have quite a breadth that you can pick and choose from, whether it's from a major and a minor or a dual major. And as you can see, we also offer a 3-year accelerated bachelor's. Once you enroll in this program, you can save roughly about $50,000, give or take, and helps you enter the workforce or go on to grad school a lot earlier. We also accept AP credits, IBs, dual enrollments, and the application process is quite similar to my colleagues. You just need to submit your application, send your transcript and your letter of recommendation, a personal statement, and then I definitely recommend a resume or a list of achievements. And we have been test optional for numerous years. So if you're already taking it, fantastic, that's great for you. If you don't have the opportunity because of everything that is going on, don't worry about it. You can just submit your application as is. Moving forward, aside from having the iPad as a great benefit of coming to Lynn, our dialogue, which is our foundation, is what really sets us apart. As you can see, there's 5 main components that we look at. So when we're looking at quantitative reasoning, we're teaching you how do you balance your checkbook, how do you do an APR for a car and a mortgage. When we're looking at justice and civic life, how can you apply yourself into the world, and how's the justice system? What can be tailored? What can be changed? Belief and reason. We have a class that is called Magic, Science, and Religion, in which we expand your horizon. That way you can always have an open and respectful dialogue with anybody that you meet throughout your life. Aside from our dialogues, we also have J-term, which is our 3 weeks after our winter break, in which you can do on ground or you could do elsewhere in the nation and sometimes even abroad. This is a 3-week opportunity for you to sort of give back to the community, and it can also count as a mini internship. Aside from our academics and study abroad and everything, you're gonna find in the next slide that we have plenty of events on campus. We are NCAA D2 in 19 different sports. We have 25 national championships and roughly 36 state conference titles as well. We have clubs and organizations, Greek life, and there's so many events that take place on campus during the week that I can almost guarantee you cannot attend all of them in the same day or even within the same week. When it comes to social media, everybody's on social media, so make sure that you check us out on Instagram and Snapchat. YouTube is always updated with the latest videos. And that really wraps it up for Lynn. You'll find in the next slide that we have my contact information, and the same as my colleagues as well, in case you do have any questions. Now that you have heard from all of us and from the different universities, there's typically a few questions that pop into mind. You know, when you think about Florida, a lot of the common questions that we get is hurricanes. Is your school affected by hurricanes? What sort of plans that you have? So I'm going to open it up that way. Each one of us can contribute if you wish to talk about your campus.
Yeah, sure. So what Florida Tech does in regards to hurricanes, obviously we have engineering and science. We do have meteorology as a major. So our meteorology professors actually brief the president, and obviously everyone in Florida is always looking at the national hurricane and the whole 9 yards. We don't have any shelters here on campus if we are shutting down and moving kids off campus, but we can transport the students to a local shelter that's designated in our area. But majority of the students, to be honest, I was a student here when hurricanes came by. The majority of students kind of already leave beforehand, go with friends. I always tell students, don't go to a place that has beach in the location, because it's probably a bad idea to go that way. But I'll turn it over to other people.
Yes, for us at Eckerd, we actually require all incoming students to come up with their hurricane plan before arriving on campus. So just kind of a tentative plan as to what they would do if we have to evacuate, so that when the time comes, in the moment of being stressful, they don't have to think that through. They already have it set up. Most recently, what they'll just do is when they book their plane tickets down or to leave, they make it a flexible date so they can change that last minute. But we have a committee that monitors all weather patterns and kind of meet on a daily basis as storms really start to brew. And we always make sure that if we are having to evacuate, we do it a day or two before the county actually makes that decision. So it gives our students time to get out and find where they're getting to.
Yeah, similar to what my colleagues have shared, we make the call with enough advance notice so students who are able to evacuate can get to safety. We provide transportation to the airport for out-of-state students, or some students maybe will go with a friend who's within driving distance. We do have shelter availability here on campus for students who are unable to leave. It's something too, right in the middle of the state, they're not supposed to get so bad here. So that's why our plans are a little bit, with a little bit of planning, because it's not hurricane central in Central Florida, but we do have a strategy in case a storm does get bad here.
And I have to say, on behalf of Lynn and as a Lynn alum as well, we're quite fortunate that our campus is hurricane proof. So last year when Dorian neared campus, we've been lucky that it didn't come anyway. We had all of our students stay on ground. We had food, we had water, we have electricity. So it's definitely been a plus to have that sort of in your back pocket. Another question that I always tend to get is, if you're advising a student, is what would you say is your favorite place on campus? Is there somewhere for you or for students that you feel is like the highlight of your university?
Yeah, sure. So one of the highlights on our campus is actually the botanical gardens. There's actually like over 50 to about 100 different species of palm trees that are on our campus that kind of make up the botanical garden. And there's a little stream that runs through it. So a lot of people like to go there and hang out. The Wi-Fi does go in some parts of that area. So some people like to go down there and do homework. But other than that, people are probably checking out our sports and other stuff that they have on campus.
My favorite spot that I like to hit after work and is always populated with the students is our pier location that has the most beautiful views of the sunset. Somehow every time I go down there, I always catch some dolphins. So very beautiful view, and students are there every single evening. It's very zen.
Yeah, we are. So our city's called Lakeland. There are 39 named lakes, and the campus is situated on Lake Hollingsworth. And we have a nice dock area. We have opportunities for students to rent out hammocks or kayaks, or there's a nice paved path all around the lake that's almost about a 5K. So it's a nice place to just relax and stretch your legs.
And then for us at Lynn, I have to say it's our new university center. Just because it's brand spanking new, it's as big as the White House. So it is massive. This is where all of our students congregate. There's places that you can relax, you can eat, you can have private spaces where you can meet with your friends that we can study or collaborate on projects. We have a social impact lab also located in our university center. So it's definitely a nice, unique place. And as you can see, all the different schools, each one of them has a fantastic spot for you to go and visit. The last thing that I do want to end before we wrap up today is your university currently offering any visits, whether it is on ground or virtual?
Yeah, so at Florida Tech, we've been offering visits since, I believe, June. Only a few people were kind of kicking around here the whole time. So, yeah, our visits have started since June. We've now increased our capacity. We're now offering 3 times the visit, 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, and 2 o'clock when school's in session. We're now up to 4 families concurrent at that given time. The students and families are going through a screen. You can't bring the whole family. It's up to about 3 or 4 people in a family, depending on capacity, because we're limiting it total into our lobby. But they get temperature checked, and then even for the students that are the parents that are visiting those students, they're getting temperature checked too. So we do have protocols, places in place. We don't want just anyone to come on campus and to wander around campus, because we're trying to keep everyone safe. And we have very low numbers here at the university in regard to cases.
Yeah, very similar to Florida Tech. We have limited availability. We offer 3 tour times a day, and 3 families are allowed on each of those tour times, with a max of 4 people to the family. Each family gets a one-on-one tour with a student. The same thing, we're checking temperatures of everyone who, before they even get out of the car, before they're allowed on the tour. And you're only allowed on campus if you are a registered visitor. So you have to be signed up for a tour, otherwise you will be turned away. But yeah, we are offering tours.
Yeah, more or less the same thing. We've got an in-person tour available 3 times a day. We do require advanced registration for you and all of your guests so that we can cap our numbers. And we do have a couple of virtual opportunities too, all on our visit website. You just click if you want to do an in-person or a virtual visit, and the full calendar for both shows up.
And just like my colleagues are saying, we also have the same opportunities. Of course, we are following the protocols of the CDC and the state and county level. You can find our visit information at lynn.edu/visit, in which we have 3 different options. You can do a visit virtually, completely online, or you can do a drive-through campus. So if you're already in the area or coming down, but you're not comfortable enough to be on campus, you could drive through, and we're gonna FaceTime with you the entire way to tell you more about campus. Or you can physically come on campus, meet with one of our student ambassadors. Just keep in mind that we are limiting it to 2 guests with you. So keep in mind when you do your pre-registration. Otherwise, I do want to thank my colleagues here with me on this panel and StriveScan as well. I hope that you have been enjoying the presentation and found it very informative and fun. Please make sure that you visit our campuses, connect with us via social media and our own emails and phone numbers, and make sure to apply. We're great schools, and we'll definitely be looking forward to seeing your application. Have a great day and evening, and we look forward to seeing you again soon.
Awesome. Thank you for joining us. When you close this window, there will be a very quick 4-question survey. We'd appreciate any feedback you can provide for us. Also, this was just one of many sessions being hosted, so be sure to sign up for additional sessions at strivescan.com/Virginia. In about a week, you'll be able to find the session recording as well as all the other session recordings at strivescan.com/Virginia. Thank you. Have a wonderful evening.